What's up, everybody? Statustats here, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about my top breakout players to draft in fantasy hockey for the upcoming 2020-2021 NHL season. I went ahead and listed the players along with their rankings according to ESPN, Yahoo, and NHL.com. First up, we have Charlie McAvoy. He scored right around 30 points his first few years in the league, but is set to take a huge leap this year with the departure of both Torrey Krug and Zdeno Chara. McAvoy will get the chance to be not only the Bruins' #1 defenseman, but also have the chance to skate on Boston's coveted #1 power play unit. Alongside the likes of Patrice Bergeron, Brad Marchand, and when healthy, David Pastrnak, McAvoy should have no problem putting up career best numbers. Next up, we have Predators goaltender Juuse Saros. Saros has been a solid goaltender for a few years, but has always found himself playing backup to Pekka Rinne. Last year, Saros completely outplayed Rinne, posting strong numbers of .914 save percentage, 2.7 goals against average, and 17 wins. Rinne is going to be 38 this year and is not getting any younger. Nashville is a strong defensive-minded team led by elite defenseman Roman Josi, which only further boosts Saros' appeal. Finally taking the reins as the starter, Saros is a strong choice later in the draft. My next choice is former #1 overall pick Aaron Ekblad. While he is a solid defenseman, Ekblad still has yet to reach that next level and the expectations that come with being a #1 overall pick. However, that could all very well change this year. Last year, Ekblad had his best offensive output with 41 points in 67 games. Furthermore, he is set to take over as the quarterback of the top power play unit, taking the position from aging teammate Keith Yandle. With an increased scoring rate and power play time, Ekblad has the pedigree and talent to make the leap this season. With the departure of Braden Holtby for Vancouver and a medical condition unfortunately keeping Henrik Lundqvist out for the season, Ilya Samsonov is going to get the chance to be the unquestioned starting goaltender for the Washington Capitals. He posted excellent numbers last year with 16 wins, a .913 save percentage, and 2.55 goals against average in 22 games started. The Capitals also added defensive help with the likes of Justin Schultz, Zdeno Chara, and Trevor Van Riemsdyk in the offseason. Assuming Samsonov can translate his success into a full-time starting role, he could very well emerge as a top 10 goaltender this year. While Anthony Mantha doesn't have quite as much hype surrounding him as some of the other players on this list, he still had a respectable 38 points in 43 games last year. He'll get every opportunity to succeed this year with a rebuilding Red Wings team, and is someone with untapped potential to consider later on in the draft. Next up, we have Brock Boozer, and if you need any reason as to why to consider him a potential breakout this year, I only have one name for you: Elias Pettersson. He's actually someone I really wanted to put on this list, but considering he won the Calder Trophy his rookie year and averaged nearly a point per game the past 2 seasons, I thought his inclusion on this list might be a little too obvious. So instead, I went with his line mate, Boozer, who himself has breakout potential. He has a lethal shot and had scored 29 and 26 goals his first 2 years before falling off to 16 last year due to injury. He has a good chance to lead the team in goals and has excellent players around him with the aforementioned Pettersson, along with Quinton Hughes and JT Miller. Kailer Yamamoto proved to be one of the best late-season fantasy pickups last year, contributing 26 points in 27 games after being recalled from the AHL. And while it will be difficult to repeat that scoring pace this year, he will get the chance to play alongside either Leon Draisaitl or Connor McDavid. Throw in the fact that he's projected to play on the #1 power play unit and his rankings outside of the top 100 on all 3 sites, and there's a lot to like about Yamamoto this year. Finally, we come to Brady Tkachuk, and honestly, I was actually considering his brother Matthew for this spot as more of a traditional breakout, but when I saw Brady's numbers last year, I just had to include him on this list. He's put up a solid 21 and 22 goals the past 2 seasons, with respectable point totals of 45 and 44. And while that might not seem all that impressive, where he really shines is in category leagues. Last year, he was top 10 in shots fired with 259 and finished second in the league in hits with a whopping 303. He is a must-have in category leagues and even adds penalty minutes if you happen to play in a league that counts that. The only place he will hurt you is in the plus-minus department, where he finished negative 15 last year. However, the combination of shots and hits is something we rarely see from a player outside of Alex Ovechkin, making him extremely valuable. Throw in the fact that he's only 21 years old and will continue to develop, which, by the way, 21 years old is the same age his brother was whenever he jumped from scoring a similar 49 points in 68 games to 77 points in 80 games. And this is why Brady is my top breakout player for the year. And that's going to conclude my list. I have some other fantasy hockey related content I'm going to try and get out for you guys before the start of the season. So if you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you all later.